Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with my introduction and first update for my beauty budget. I'm starting this a little bit later in the year because I wasn't really sure what I want to do with my low buy this year, but I have decided what to do now. So basically this year I am taking lots and lots of inspiration from Emily and Max as well as Steph from It's Just Steph, I believe. Both of them will be linked down below, but they're both doing a beauty budget, or is that what they're calling it? No, I think they're calling it makeup rehab, right? But basically you count empties and pans and things like that as points, and then you can buy things from those points. And I'm gonna do something very similar. I am kind of setting up my own rules, so I'm not kind of copying their rules or anything, although again they are inspired by them, just because I wanted to kind of alter it to my collection. But that's going to be my low buy for this year, so it's not going to be any monetary value like it was last year where I had a budget per month that I could spend, and if I didn't then that rolled over. I rather am going to work on the points because I feel like I don't necessarily focus on the money that I spend. Obviously I don't want to spend too much money on makeup, but it's also just the sheer amount of makeup that I have. I want to lower that rather than just bringing things. For example, like last year I could buy loads of things that were affordable, and that's not really what I want to do anymore. I want to focus on the amount of things that I bring in rather than just how much I spend on makeup, if that makes sense. But before I jump into any of my rules, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. But let's jump into the video. So I'm going to jump straight into the rules just to give you an overview. My first rule is going to be for every 2 empties I can buy 1 new item. So that's basically a rule of 2 out, 1 in, and that obviously is going to lower my amount of makeup because I am moving out more than I'm bringing in. So that's going to be the main gist of the project. I'm also going to allow myself that if I hit 5 pans, that could be eyeshadow like pans, it could be pan in the blush, it could be pan in the highlighter, any pan, I will be able to allow myself 1 item. So 5 pans equal 1 item. Next up we move on to like declutters. So if I do declutter something, I again need to declutter 5 things for it to count as 1 item, and that's mainly just because I want to focus on actually finishing things rather than just like decluttering. And yeah, I just want to kind of encourage again using up things instead of decluttering. So if I do want to declutter something, I need to declutter 5 things for it to count as 1 item. So yeah, that's basically how I'm going to earn my points, is those 3 ways. It's either 2 empties, 5 pans, or 5 declutters. All of those equal to 1 point and 1 item. When it comes to like the things I'm bringing in, I have a few kind of exceptions and a few rules. So the first thing is for single eyeshadows, because I like buying single eyeshadows, especially from indie brands. And if you count every single eyeshadow as 1 point, it will quickly add up to quite a lot of points. So what I have decided to do is count 10 singles as 1 item. So if I am making an order from different kind of single brands, like if I want to make a Cleona order and I let her Moon's order, anything like that, I want 10 singles to count as 1 item. And that's just thinking and comparing it to, like, for example, a palette. A palette, I think in my collection has probably averaged more like 15 pans of eyeshadows. So I thought having 10 singles count as 1 item would be fair. And also I am storing all of those in my kind of magnetic palettes, so it's not like it's taking loads more storage, unless I buy more magnetic palettes, because I might have to do this year. But it's not going to be like loads and loads extra, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm adding that rule. The second kind of exceptional rule that I'm adding in is that replacements are not included in the budget. So I will actually go through what I purchased in January with you, and I have 2 things there that are replacements, and it's because I was completely out of those things, and then they do not count towards the budget because it's something that I basically have to purchase. I mean, not have to, but for example, one of the things that I was out of was a loose powder, and I was working, like I was using other things like as pressed powder and whatnot to set my under eyes, but it just did not work. It was darkening my concealer and it just didn't look right. So that's why I wanted to again get another loose powder in my collection, because that's what works best for me. And in that sense I do not count that as a point, because for example at that point I might not have had enough points to buy that product, if that makes sense. So replacements are not included in the budget. So the last 2 exceptions I have is bound to product types. So this year I'm really trying to focus on using up lip products for my collection, and because of that I have set in a rule that for lip products, in order for me to buy a lip product, I have to use up 2 other lip products. So it's a similar rule with the whole 2 out, 1 in, but in the sense I can't use any product type and replace that with lip products, those two products need to be lip products. Obviously if I used a lip empty previously to buy something else, I can still count that towards this later on. Obviously I still have to have 2 empties for the lip product, but at that point I've already have had to use up 2 other lip products, if that makes sense. I hope it all makes sense, but that's just because I do want to lower the amount of lip products that I have, because I have probably around 150, if not more. I can actually check because I have my laptop on my screen. Currently in my collection, counting like everything like lip gloss, lipsticks, liquid lipsticks, lip liners, I have 164, which is a lot. And 99 of those are bullet lipsticks, 37 are liquid lipsticks, 20 are lip glosses, and 8 are lip liners. So definitely too much, and I do want to lower that this year, and that's why I'm putting that rule in. Then the very final rule that I have is regarding blushes. I do want to bring in max 3 single blushes this year, and that's also because that category is a bit out of hand. I think I have about 35 blushes in my collection, if not more. It might be towards 40 now, but somewhere around 35 to 40 blushes, which is way too much. It's something that I will probably never go through, and that's why I do want to add in the goal of max 3 single blushes. So those are all my rules. So let's go through kind of where I am with all my purchases and basically where I'm starting. So I did mention I was going to show some things, but I just looked at my notes and I actually realized that I bought these things in February, and to keep it simple, I think I bought it on like the 1st of February. So to keep it simple, I'm not going to go through everything I bought this month because it just complicates things when I kind of section it by months. But I do actually, I'm going to just kind of give you an example. So the order that I made was from Cult Beauty, and I did purchase 3 things, and 2 of them were replacements. Like I said, one of them was a powder. This is the Hourglass Real Powder. That was a replacement, so that does not count as points. Secondly, we had my brow gel. This is the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit, and again I was out of brow gel, which is why I purchased this, so again it does not count as points. So those 2 are the first two things that I bought, and those 2 does not count into my budget because they are replacements. However, the 3rd thing that I picked up was something that I picked myself, and again I'm gonna go through all of this more in detail next month when I go through my February points. This is just to give you an example, but that is Natasha Denona Retro Palette, and since this is not a replacement, I have enough eyeshadows and I do not need to replace them at all. This is a point, so this basically is 1 more point used, and I'm actually going to go through all my points from January in a second, but I did have enough points to buy this, and that is why I picked this one up. So that's just to give you some examples, but I did get some other things in that order too, but again I will go through all of that next month and give more kind of details. But I just wanted to show some sort of products in this video to better give you an idea of what this budget is going to look like. But to sum up as well, because I didn't do an update for my low buy in December, I did not buy anything in December, and I did not buy anything at all in January either. So those 2 months I did not pick up anything, and I did make this Cult Beauty order in the beginning of February now, so I will talk about that again in the next update. But no purchases to talk about in this month, but I do have a few points that I brought in. So in January I had 2 empties, which obviously then gives 1 point, and that's the point that I used to buy the Retro palette. When it comes to pans, I had 2 pans in January, not the best start, but I think because I had so many pans last year, I wanted to start this year off easy. So only 2 pans, so that is not a point yet. So the total in January was 1 point that I could use, and I didn't use any. So that 1 point rolled over to February, and that is where I'm starting this month. So hope that all makes sense. Again, I will do a summary for February in the next video, but I think this is a bit of a kind of messy instruction, but I just wanted to be clear with all the points, which is why I'm mixing in my products that I bought in February. But yeah, I will go through all of that next month. So I really hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you're doing a low buy, and if you have any input on my low buy this year, let me know. But that is basically it for today. I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys.